story in there about, the combatives course that they taught you were, once again, they're looking at like, oh, who's this little youngster that's in here? Oh, what? You think you're tough? Oh, watch this. And you're like, no, watch this.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Jiu-jitsu is a superpower.
Jiu-jitsu is a superpower.
It's a superpower.
100%. Yep.
And if I'm in a room with a bunch of cadets and I say, you cannot put cuffs on me unless I let you put cuffs on me. And they go like, there's 40 of us. Like, I don't care. That is how powerful jiu-jitsu is when you empower somebody with that type of skill and knowledge. If I can take my hands and put my hands on a grown person and they can do anything that I want them to, like that's the power of jiu-jitsu. And they did not have that power, but they needed to know it. So again, here's so stupid Tim of like, okay, well, I will teach you guys then. This is how better, so arrogant, so pathetic, but you guys can't do nothing to me. That's what it was.
It's true though, man. It's hard. It's hard when someone knows how to fight. It is really hard to get control of them.
Yeah.
It is really hard to get control of them. And especially if the other people don't really know how to fight. If they learned whatever 4-step procedure for getting control. It's like, no, that procedure is not going to work for a millisecond against me.
No.
Go away.
Yeah. I beg and I plead law enforcement to go and do jiu-jitsu. Yep. If there were 10 police officers that are police academy trained, they do their cuffing, their defensive tactics, and they say, Jocko, you're under arrest. I'm going to put cuffs on you. Zero chance.
Yeah,
all 10 grown adults trying to cuff you. Zero chance. Yep. But then you take one that trains.
Yep.
Totally different
story. Yep.
One.
And it's gotten really bad now, not to derail this conversation, but I was just talking to a couple police officers, and I won't mention the state where they are. If they put a chokehold on someone, if they put a rear naked choke on someone,
it's lethal force.
They I'm trying to think of the steps. It's like a full on like felony 1st-degree murder if the person dies.
Yeah.
But even if the person doesn't, if you just do it, it's like a assault with a deadly weapon or something like this. And it's so hard to explain to people. I don't know what you think, but if I had to subdue someone that I cared about, the number one thing I would do is put a rear naked choke on.
Best choke in the world.
It's
so safe.
It's the gentlest, nicest way to get someone under control.
Yeah.
And it's so effective. And there's nothing, like it leaves no marks. Like,
no.
You could choke me right now and I'd wake up and be like, oh, dude, you could have cuffs on me. And I'd be like, oh, what just happened? And I'd be totally fine.
Yep.
You could uncuff me and I could go and freaking teach a class in whatever and carry on with my day. As opposed to you hitting me in the head 19 times with a baton to get to subdue me.
Pepper spray or tasing you. No.
All those things are so hard. And people just have no understanding of the power of jiu-jitsu and the power of the rear naked choke. It's so sad, and so many more people are going to get hurt because of it.
Yeah. And
all it takes is, if you're in law enforcement or if you're in charge of law enforcement, mandate everyone should be trained in jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
You should be trained in jiu-jitsu all the time. I've been saying 20% of what police do, 20% of the time should be training.
Yeah. It not only shapes the body, but also shapes the mind.
100%.
It does such a beautiful thing to ego. It tears things back and it makes you human. And when you're in a position of power like that, you have to have your ego checked. And the best way to do it is to put you on a mat and have you lose. Back to those people that have never been hit in the face, the city councils that enact those type of policies for their cities, those are the people that have never been in a fight, that have never gone on a ride along, that have never been punched in the face, but they're like, this police officer can't do a chokehold. You don't know anything about anything. No. And you're the one that's mandating, and your ignorance is causing more damage to your community because you don't understand. Yep. You don't understand violence because you've never been in it. But like, as men that are pretty intimately familiar with violence, listen to me, city council people. Go get punched in the face and learn how important it is to know how to effectively do violence.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, go get hit in the face with a baton 3 times and see how you feel the next day, and then let me put a rear naked choke on you and see how you feel the next day. And by the way, the rear naked choke will make you want to just kind of comply, and if you don't, you're just going to wake up in handcuffs in the back of a car.
So easy.
Yeah, so good. And so you end up hooking these people up during that, and they have to take. How many guys did it finally take to get cuffs on you?
I didn't know.
Just didn't happen.
Never happened. I mean, but by the end of it, I mean, we're probably 30 minutes later. From wrist to elbow, there's cuffs hanging off me, and I'm bleeding from because like they're snapping them on. I'm bruised at my radius and ulna is like bone bruised, and there's blood like dripping off of my arms, and I look like an animal, a pit bull that's been tased a bunch of times. It's in the corner. And I was like, who's coming at me next?
And you know what sucks is. A lot of times people would just think, oh, he's just a really good athlete or something like this. And that was one of my problems. Like, I'm the worst person to introduce jiu-jitsu to someone, because they're like, well, of course you freaking beat me. You're freaking 225 pounds. And it's like the best people to introduce is like Jeff Glover, who's 150 pounds. He's like not intimidating to look at. And he's got a big smile on his face. And he's just breaks it off on people. That's who should introduce people to jiu-jitsu. You're no good either.
No.
Like, you're not a great introduction to jiu-jitsu, because people are like, oh, what just happened? But that guy's an asshole. That's what they say about me. Like, yo, we get done rolling, you're really strong. Like, thanks, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's it.
I work on that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I left, motherlickers. So it's not great to have people that are big introduce jiu-jitsu, but also it's strange that even in a situation like that, like if I was the overall trainer, I'd be like, hold on a second. What just happened?
Yeah.
9 of my cops couldn't get this guy under control. There's something wrong. We need to figure something out.
The defensive tactics instructor for the academy was a jiu-jitsu guy. And I think he let it go.
Oh, got it.
I think he did.
He was
looking back, I was like, oh, he knew what was happening. He knew what was going to happen. He wanted them to know.
That's awesome.
But at my expense. I lost rapport with my classmates. I looked like a total asshole. I was a feral animal in the corner. For like a while, people wouldn't even look at me. But I think he knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah. So I'm tipping my hat to that clever little shit.